Hi, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies, and today we're here to look at the Obsession Turmoil bow. Now, I don't know if this bow was available in 2017, but it's definitely available in 2018, and this is the latest model. So today in the review, we're going to shoot the bow at 18 meters, we're going to put it through a chronograph and compare it to other bows that are similar value to look at this bow. So first thing with Obsession company was established, and it's part of the Kevin Strother line of bows, I'm going to call it. And Kevin Strother was the originator of Bowtech. When he left Bowtech, he then went to Elite, designed their bows. He then went to Obsession, designed these bows. Obsession come with 8 cams. The Turmoil is the cheapest of the Obsessions. This is a hybrid cam system, so you have a yoke at the top and just a normal cam down the bottom. This bow has a twin stops there, limb stops there and there, and it's a rotating module there and down the bottom. So you don't need a bow press to work on this bow as far as adjust the draw length. It's just 2 screws there and there, and you've got numbers on the back. By making the module larger, you increase the increase the draw length. So number 1 being the biggest, and number 8 being the smallest if you move in that direction. The numbers should line up. So if you've got number 1 on the top, it should be number 1 down the bottom. Now these are Gordon glass limbs. They come with limb saver bands, metal limb brackets, metal limb pockets, angled cable guard with a Saunders roller slide here, string stop, no lower stabilizer mount here. The bow itself is well balanced in the hand. It feels like a fairly narrow grip. It comes in 2 colors. One's camo, that being this one, and the other being black. Being this one. Now you've got a spot here for a 2-piece quiver. Now the 2-piece quiver takes a triangle style quiver, and I can't think of the name of that. I don't know if it's bare or not, but if you're going to fit a 2-piece quiver, you need the one with the triangle in it. The grip itself is quite narrow. It reminds me a lot of the Elite grips. It reminds me of the old Bowtech grips back when Bowtech, when Bowtech was Bowtech, which is no disrespect, but it's back. To me, this design of bow is back to, I'm going to say, when Bowtech was really popular with the parallel limbs. So these are Gordon glass limbs. They are compression limbs, so they're put under compression, but not as much as a PSE. You have 1 sight hole there. Overall, the finish is nice. The little wood, I'm hoping you see that, little wood grips are nice. Overall, the bow weighs 3.8 pounds. Adjustable draw length from 26.5 to 30 inches, which is really good. The finish of the bow looks really nice. The graphics probably at the top could be better, but it's a nice looking bow. It feels nice. So first thing I want to do is compare this to other bows of its price point. Now in America, this bow retails for $700 US. In Australia, it's going to retail for $1,100, and it was retailing for $1,450, I think, before we became the distributor for this brand. So the biggest, as far as I'm concerned, the biggest comparison for this bow is this bow. This is called the PSE React, and it's been renamed to the PSE Response. So you can see React there, it's been renamed to the Response. Now this bow here is 33 inches. This bow here is 33 inches. The price point is exactly the same. Draw length on the PSE is adjustable from 26 to 31 inches, 26 to 30 inches. Compression limbs on the PSE, you'll notice the angle of the limb is slightly different and slightly less on the Obsession. Now the speed, this bow, the The react is 330 feet per second. Obsession claimed this bow to be 350 feet per second, and if it shoots 350, I will be amazed. I haven't drawn this bow back, so I can't tell you what the draw cycle is, but 350 is one of the super fast bows, and at this price point, if this bow does 350, I will be absolutely shocked. So now the PSE's got a wider grip. It has multiple sight positions. It doesn't have a lower mount stabilizer position, so it's kind of the same. It's kind of the same as the Obsession, same sort of price point. The PSE uses the Evolve Cam system, which has been extremely popular for PSE, allowing let-off adjustment and draw length adjustment. So with the PSE, you can adjust between 80 and 90% let-off. The Obsession, you can change let-off by changing the stops on the cams. Factory set is 80%. So by moving the stops forward in the draw cycle, you reduce the let-off. By moving them back, increases the let-off. So pretty simple. So I honestly can't remember shooting this bow. I know it shot well. I can't remember what speeds I got out of it. So when we shoot through the chrono, we're going to compare this through the chrono and this through the chrono, and we're going to see which one's faster, because this should be a heck of a lot faster. Now on other bows, because some people say, I'm not comparing like with like on other bows, and I read forums and people are like, well look, I'm interested in a $700 bow, and I'm always interested to see what bows people pick. Some people are selecting the Hoyt Power Max, and I'm like that, and I'm like, if I get the numbers wrong, to me it wasn't even a comparison, because it's a cast riser. These are machine risers. The speed I don't think was even close. I didn't think the speeds were close to these. I'm not aware of what Bowtech produced, because I don't sell Bowtech anymore, and there is issues with warranties, and there's just not many of them around in Australia. Bear, I don't know. I mean, it used to be the Bear Arenas and stuff, but that's been replaced for 2018, and I haven't got 2018 shipment, so I can't compare a 2018 Bear. Matthews is generally aimed at more of the higher price point bows in the market, so this is the only one I can compare it to, and it's a nice bow. So, and I think this will be a really nice bow to shoot. Where with the other bows I've seen at this price point, you're kind of giving up stuff as far as speed, cast riser. This to me is a really nice bow. So having not shot it, it might be awful to shoot. So let's have a shot with it. Let's check the draw cycle. Let's shoot some arrows at 18 meters with it, and then shoot it through the chronograph, and let's see if I think this bow is going to be as good as I think it will be. Okay, so we're here to draw back the Obsession Turmoil. The bow's set at 60 pounds. It should be set at 60 pounds, and it should be 30 inches. Now this bow came set at 28.5, which is my perfect draw length. But to make the speed tests fair, I'm shooting it at 29 inches, because that's what I do my speed tests at. So let's first off try the draw cycle. Now the grip to start off with, it's kind of rounded around here. So it kind of feels a bit like a Hoyt grip, and to me it's similar to an Elite. It feels a little bit wider than the Elite, thinner than a PSE, and the PSE is more of a square grip. So this grip to me is comfortable. Now the other thing I noticed too with the grip, on the edge here, where your thumb sort of sticks up, see how my thumb sticks up there? It's actually raised. Some companies don't raise that point, and the high country bows, they kind of do it square there, and my thumb hurts. It feels really comfortable with this bow at that point, so feels pretty good so far. So let's just try the draw cycle out. So here the start off feels fairly light, but that's building. So here it's light, building, and then now there's no valley. So here it's a dead solid wall. because you got limb stops. Now I'm going to let this down. There's really no valley with this bow. The draw cycle feels really good. It doesn't feel like a 350 feet per second bow. If this bow shoots at 350 feet, I'll buy one, just because it's just unbelievable, the draw cycle. To me, this bow feels more like a 330 feet per second bow to physically draw. So if I get speeds of around 350, I'm just buying it. That's it, right? Because it's just, the draw cycle is just too good. So there I'm peaking there. So you can see how short that valley is. There's no valley, right? It's just peak valley. Now that drop off is not severe like a full throttle. It's not severe like the PSE Expedite. The Expedite drops off a lot quicker. The Hoyt fast bows, the turbos, drop off significantly faster. So it's not like that, but it's still a very short valley. It's definitely one of the most comfortable draw cycles I have drawn. Now, the bows considered to be the best draw cycles at the moment in the industry, as far as people coming in my shop, the Evolve cam system. Now, I shoot an Evolve cam system. The valley's not as big on this as the Evolve cam system, but it's very, very comfortable. So I really like the draw cycle. So we're just going to take a shot and let's see how it physically shoots. Bang. I get back here and you can just hold it all day. It's like easy as. Oh wow, that's pretty good. The bow itself pushes out like that. Now the bow itself is physically balanced in my hand, but when you shoot, your pressure's down a little bit lower, so it actually causes it to kick out. A little stabilizer will get rid of that, but the bow's extremely quiet. Now I just hit my other arrow, and that's not saying much. Now my sights aren't set, but easy. It reminds me to shoot off bows I've shot, and I've shot most bows. It reminds me of the high countries with the binary cam system, and they were designed by Kevin Strother. It reminds me of an Elite designed by Kevin Strother. It reminds me of the old Bowtex designed by Kevin Strother. This is got just Kevin written all over this cam. It's the bow balance, the bow weight, 3.8. To me, when I'm looking at bow weights for hunting, I really like under 4 pounds. 4 pounds is this magical number. For target and 3D, you may want heavier, and you'll notice the fixation by Obsession is significantly heavier. I think it's about 4.8. It's going to be one of my things, I probably said in one of my videos about Matthews. Matthews bows today are very heavy, and I think too heavy for the hunter. And people who like Matthews will go, no, we like heavy bows. This bow is not a heavy bow. If you want a heavy bow, don't buy this bow. But I like the weight of this bow. I like the 2-piece quiver attachment, if I knew which quiver fitted. The bow seems steady when I'm aiming for 60 pounds. And I notice with my Evolve, I'm actually shaking around a fair bit with the 60 pounds, getting used to the 60 pounds. So I'm going to be interested to see what this bow is like at 18 meters and what it groups like. But so far, to me, it's one of the nicest bows I've shot at any price point. Now I just want to remind myself, I want to compare it to the PSE. So this is the PSE React or Response now. I think this bow is well priced at its price point. Don't sell a lot of them because people generally jump up to the higher price bows. Yeah, the valley back here, you can see the valley, and this has got 90% load off. So the Valley's much easier. When I say much easier, it drops off much slower than the Obsession, than the Turmoil. The Turmoil's got a nice feel. There's nothing wrong with this bow as far as the bow to draw and to shoot. It's just I think the Turmoil feels a little bit better. There was more push up. Oh, you can see this bow, the balance is already leans back. So when I shot this bow, it definitely had more that way motion in it. It's not a bad bow. When I say it's not a bad bow, it's a nice bow to shoot. And when you go and test out bows at a similar price, they should be like, oh, which one do I prefer? Which one's better? Because if the bow's $700 American and the other one's $700, they should be similar, because the bow companies should be going, we've got to compete, and these bows have got to be comparable. These two bows, in my opinion, are very compatible, the PSE versus the Obsession, and then it's a matter of which one you prefer for whatever reason you prefer it. So I'm going to set the sight on the Turmoil at 18 meters. I've already done the React at 18 meters and through a chronograph, so I won't shoot that at 18 meters. Then we're going to shoot the Obsession Turmoil at 18 meters and see what sort of groups I get. I do like the Obsession though. To start off, like the draw cycle, it's not hurting me. Feels good, comfortable, great grip. Nice bow to shoot. So let's see how I go at 18 meters with it. Okay, so we're here to shoot the Turmoil at 18 meters. Now I have sighted the bow in, and they did hit the 10, so that's a good start. Now the first thing I want to look at is cam lean. This is a hybrid cam, so the top should be spot on. So if you put your arrow along the cam on some face, you should see. I'll just get. So actually you can see the arrow. It's not perfect. The arrow actually goes down the side. It's not bad, but it's actually leaning across that way a bit. Now we'll do it down the bottom. And you'll see the bottom's actually leaning out a little bit. Now there's not much you can do about the bottom, but you can adjust the top with the yoke system here. So you can do that. Now I'm not going to do any of that. I'm just going to shoot. So let's twang some arrows and let's see where these arrows go. Now with the binary cam systems that you feature on the other Obsession bows, you'll have to shim them if the cam's not straight, if you're worried about it. Obsessions say you don't have to worry about cam lean. They say it'll tune fine the way the bow comes out the box. So let's just shoot this and see where these go. I think it went in the middle. Like, it felt like a nice shot. I felt like it was wobbling around a little bit, but then it felt like it was stable at the physical draw, at the physical time I took the shot. The arrow hit something, hopefully hit the other arrow. This bow reminds me so much of the Elite 35 to shoot. The Elite 35 is 35 inches axle. This bow, the grip, the way it feels, the draw cycle just reminds me so much of that bow, and that's a expensive bow. Like, it's a 17. It's always hard to know in Australia, but in Australia it's a fairly expensive bow. Don't shoot me. Thanks. I really like the draw, I like the feel of the bow, there's no shock. I can't believe this is a 350 feet per second bow, it's just too easy to draw. There's not enough noise, there's not enough vibration for 350 feet per second. In fact, the bow reminds me of a lot is the Martin Lithium from about 3 years ago, which is a nice bow to draw. And the cams, and I'm just going to zoom up, the cam's just there. You can see that little spot there. The Martin Lithium looks exactly the same, and that point in the string there with the Martin Lithium was a wear point. Now I never had any, well I did have issues with that point and some people filed that down. But the Martin Lithium was a nice shooting, nice drawing, nice shooting bow. And this bow feels very much the same, but the grip is definitely narrower. Well, that definitely hit the arrow. So let's go down and see where those arrows grip. They felt good, the shots felt good, so I've got no excuses. Okay, so I'm up here at the target. Now clearly my sights were garbage because the ones I sighted on actually hit the center, and when I filmed they obviously didn't. They looked like they were hitting the center from back where I was standing, and the arrows were crunching the arrows. Now overall, I think I generally do my thumb and pointy finger. I can pretty much get my arrows around, my fingers around that group. Left and right, there's basically no variation at all. They're dead in a straight line. They're like perfect. Now, Obsession would say that's due to the torque-free grip, which they advertise that you don't get any left and right movement. Whether I shoot better with it, that's another question. I do have a little bit of height adjustment, and I do have one arrow, this arrow there high. So my arrows go from the top of the 9 to the 6 as far as height's concerned. But this group here, if I had my sights correct, that'd definitely be all in the 10. And that arrow there would be a 9, but that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that group. It's definitely one of the better groups I've shot with bow tests. Is it the best I've shot? I think one of the best I shot was a toe point target bow. I shot an incredible grip with that. I know I shot a really good grip with the PSE Stinger, but that's definitely one of the better grips I've ever shot with any bow I've tested, so I'm really happy with that. Now, so the next bit we're going to do is we're going to shoot the bow through a chronograph, see if the 300 feet per second is real or not real, and we're also going to compare the PSE React, or the new Response, as PSE have renamed that bow, speed for speed to see if it's the same, because the Obsession Turmoil is rated at 350 and the PSE is rated at 330. So 20 feet per second, is this going to be a real difference or is it just a make-believe? Because to me these bows are very, very similar to shoot. So I'm interested, if I get 20 feet per second extra out of this Obsession, I'm going to be over the moon. So let's go and shoot it and see how it shoots. Okay, so we're out here to shoot the Obsession Turmoil through a speed machine. We're shooting gold tip velocities, 400s with 90 grain points. These are 29 inches long, they weigh 330 grains. I'm shooting a 60 pound Turmoil at 29 inches. Now this is rated at 350, and just before this I shot the PSE React or Response, which has got a very similar statistics to this bow, similar price, slightly bigger brace height, and it's shot through the chronograph at 285. So let's just shoot this through the chronograph and see what speeds we get. It's 293. Now, I shoot the same draw length, same poundage, use the same arrow for every bow test I test. Now my PSE Perform shot at 320 through this chronograph at those specs. Now to me this bow is an easier bow to draw than the PSE Perform, which is a target bow. It doesn't hurt my shoulder as much, and it never felt like a 350 feet per second bow. Now you don't get 350 feet out of 60 pounds 29 inches with these arrows. IBO speeds are 70 pounds 30 inches with an extremely light arrow. So I'm just comparing like with like, and the faster bows, the ones which are doing 350s, are generally 320 feet per second. This bow is clearly not that speed. It's fractionally faster than the PSE, which is completely understandable because this is slightly shorter, half an inch shorter brace height than the PSE React. I'm going to say the React is a easier draw cycle, but this is a nice draw cycle. It feels nice to shoot. The shot, it's quiet. .293. It's quiet, there's no vibration when you shoot the bow. It's a lovely bow to shoot. So the fact that I get this speed that is well under what is published, that one was actually 305. The fact that I get a speed under what is published doesn't really worry me because this is still a lovely bow to shoot. In fact, it's one of the nicest bows I have shot. So my summary with the Obsession Turmoil, even though it doesn't produce the speeds it says it produces at 350, which I never thought it would, the bow overall is well made. It has the ability for a two-piece quiver, it's a machine riser, it's got the torque-free cable guard, it's got the roller slide, it's got the draw stops which give you that solid draw, no vibration, nice and quiet, a lovely bow to shoot. And its price point, I think it's aimed really well on the market for the price. So overall, does the speed worry me? Not at all. So if you publish this bow at a 330 IBO speed or 335 or 337, this bow, in my opinion, would still be one of the top selling bows at its price point in the market today. So get down, give it a try. The Obsession Turmoil, really nice bow. Big fan, like it. And even though it didn't shoot 350, it's definitely a bow I would consider buying for myself. The 3D, hunting, that sort of bow, just nice weight. Overall, really like it. It's really one of my favorite bows of 2018. And thank you for watching. And the more you shoot, the better you'll shoot, the better scores you'll shoot, and the more you'll enjoy it. Thank you. Bye.